you're watching Real TV Films. I'm your host, Tia Barr. Thank you so much for joining us. We are here for a very special event, The Politics of Cannabis, joined by Dr. Christopher Metzler.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. How are you?
How are you? You are political, cultural, and a legal expert in this field of cannabis. And you have created this very, very, very special event tonight, gathering an immense amount of wonderful people to learn more about everything that's going on in the current cannabis laws and the cannabis world. Tell me about why you're passionate behind this subject and what brought you here tonight.
Well, you know, when we think about cannabis, there's a lot of conversation around the old thinking about cannabis. You know, it's just like people going around smoking weed, having a good time, getting high.
The hush-hush,
yes,
right?
yeah. But really, cannabis needs a rebranding because it's the opportunity to treat a number of medical conditions that are not treated by pills. And in fact, it helps in things like pain, neuropathy, all of those kinds of things. It really helps. HIV, all of those kinds of things. It actually helps a tremendous amount without having an addictive formula. That's the key. It, in fact, is really a guidance to help treat addiction in the opioid space, as an example.
And how do you compare herb to opioid? Am I saying it right?
Yes,
I'm sorry. Opiate.
Yeah, well, see,
because it's opiate's very strong and it's almost, isn't it like a medical?
It is, and what happens with the opioids is it is man-made. And so oftentimes what happens is there are really side effects, and a lot of the side effects lead to addiction. With cannabis, the issue is that it is a plant, so it comes from the ground. So there is the natural remedy that makes it so much better. So long as it's not sprayed with pesticides, then it's absolutely a fantastic way to treat ailments.
And how long have you been delved into this subject and learning about the diversity of cannabis and how different strains help with different ailments?
Well, it's been about 10 years.
Wow.
Because when I first started doing this from a research standpoint, a lot of academics just kind of poo-pooed it and said, oh, really? Oh, not so much.
Well, because it was so hush-hush. Now it's coming out so with such a force.
Right. It's like back in the Prohibition days when they prohibited alcohol. It's the same concept. And then what I did actually was I studied that crisis and then made a comparison between that and this. And I own a number of medical clinics, and as a result of that, wanted to find alternative treatments with my medical staff to help move this along.
In the last 10 years that you've owned these different medical clinics, have you seen different maybe results in your patients by using different cannabis?
Yes, absolutely. And there is now a kit.
Let's talk about this. This is the Melix MJ kit. This is a saliva kit that you've created. Tell us about the Melix MJ. First of all, the name. Melix MJ. What does that mean?
So what it is really looking at the whole person. And so what this kit does is it'll give you the opportunity through a very comprehensive report to look at what is the best strain of cannabis for you based on genetic markers. We're completing clinical trials right now relative to it, and so it is fascinating in the space.
Because you can come down to a scientific measurement to exactly treat the ailment or whatever it might be at an exact percentage. Which is very mathematical and advanced in my opinion.
Well, and that's the thing. So people thought that, it was so-called junk science, but it's not. And that starts to move the discussion along in very, very helpful ways.
How does all the information come through saliva? I mean, that's so interesting to me too. I mean, how do you gauge two and two together and find that information, that cross factor?
Well, what happens, I own a couple of medical testing laboratories, and what we do is we will take the saliva through the swab and then actually count the genetic markers and then cross-reference them. That then gives us a comprehensive report as to how we can move forward best.
And then what is the end result? What does it tell you? It tells you the exact type of cannabis that you should, a sativa or an indica or a specific strain?
Absolutely. It tells you which is best. based, again, on science. There is a strong scientific component to this that is yet to be exposed.
What do you most want people to know in this advanced world where marijuana is now legal? Amen. In California,
Yes.
we have more liberation. We're not feeling that illegal stress where
Yes.
you're that's changed. I mean, a lot since even I was a kid. I remember there's always people getting pulled over for the small
Yeah.
amount of having a joint and getting in so much trouble.
Trouble for that, yeah.
And now we're living in a different time and age. What do you most want to pull and most want to share? What information do you want to share? Get to people that are currently using and want to find out more information about.
Yeah, what I want them to
medically
understand is that from a medical standpoint, it is an extremely helpful product that is not addictive. Of course,
agree.
and that's the issue. The issue
And nobody's
is addiction.
ever died, right?
No,
They
no.
have that proven fact that
Nobody's ever died from it.
They always compare the alcohol to the
Yeah,
marijuana because
It's a false choice.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
it is,
Yeah, and I mean, and then law enforcement people will often say to me, well, what about people who are driving under the influence? You treat them as they're anyone who's driving under the influence. I mean, there's no difference.
There's got to be a limit.
Of course. So they're setting up these false choices, and I think that attitude needs to go away.
Definitely. And that's what we're here tonight.
Yes.
To enlighten these people. Tell me about what's going on, some people that have joined you here tonight.
Yeah, so I have some people from the Melix team. They're here, along with a number of entrepreneurs who want to understand the business aspect of it, the diversity aspect of it from a business standpoint, and also from the legal standpoint. I'm going to share some insights about from a Washington, D.C. perspective, because I'm a very big politico in Washington.
And now, is it legal in Washington? Tell me the rule in Washington.
Well,
What's going
in
on
Washington, D.C., it's legal, except the federal government, since D.C. is not a state, the federal government is not funding it.
So does that mean it's federally still illegal?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that means that they can come into a dispensary and close down a dispensary
Right,
at their
and-
disposal?
Yeah, and none have opened in that area yet. However, the federal government has some interesting legislation that's pending that I'll share tonight.
Ooh, we have to stay tuned.
That's right, it's a
Dr.
teaser.
Christopher Metzler, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
You are amazing. You're inspiring other people.
you.
People. You are empowering other people. You're acknowledging other people that are also in this industry that want to learn more and co-networking. And I think it's wonderful that you're here just spreading the word. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And also, before we go, we have to let the people know where exactly they can find you and find out more information if they want to get involved with what you're doing.
Yes.
Connect with you.
At Dr. Chris Metzler. That's all my social media. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Dr. Chris Metzler.
At Dr. Chris Metzler.
Yes.
We love it. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
I'm your host, Tia Barr. You are watching Real TV Films. We're signing off here. We are going to go party
Yes,
and
let's
talk.
do it. Okay.
Cheers.